Good day to you all. This is October 30th of 2023. October represents Depression Awareness Month as one of its focuses. And so the point of this video is to inspire those to get help in the way that they needed after probably hearing a little bit about my story. So I'm 36 years old. I have three children, three amazing children. And I've probably been struggling with depression for probably 18 years or so, unmanaged, I will add, up until about 4 months ago. And so for me, I want this to be motivating for people that maybe are directly struggling with depression, or those close to loved ones or family members that are as well, because there's a lot to be kind of mentioned as far as where you're at in the role of someone that's struggling with mental health. So for me, I had some unfortunate events happen a few months ago where I was faced with having to tackle my depression. And with depression, with severe depression, as I was diagnosed with, sometimes comes horrible coping mechanisms, whether that's drinking, smoking weed, and all other things. You're basically, from what I experienced, you're like feeling a void of emptiness, but you don't know what that void exactly is, and you can get kind of lost in the sauce as far as some of your choices, even though they maybe conflict with your beliefs, being that you're depressed. And I can tell you that for me, my spirit slowly, granularly was disconnected from myself and also from, my higher power. Whether you're religious or not, that's just the way it was for me. And I wouldn't say like I'm more on the spiritual side. Religious sounds like organization, but you can have a conversation with your higher power however you see fit. It doesn't have to be in an establishment. But neither here nor there. I tackled my depression with seeking professional help. And I can tell you that it's kind of tough to see where you were until you get out of where you were. Meaning, I didn't realize how depressed I really was until I got out of it. And I'm still a work in progress, don't get me wrong. But it's one of those things where, you may be, let's say I'm depressed, and my significant other could be totally fine. But I can tell you that, energies do influence and can pull those down around you. And my depression, at one point had it to where my feelings were the most important thing in the room versus having those loved ones, family members, be that most important thing in the room. And I'm a courageous spirit by nature, and depression only creates more recklessness, if you will, where you think your feelings are valid, even if they aren't, and they come above everything. And it's a horrible, horrible place to be in, to be honest. So I seek professional help, and went to a place that specializes in helping people with mental health. And I can tell you that fast forward to 3 months later, that, despite who is still or not in my life, who's wrote me off, you can't be offended by that stuff, but I can tell you that I am today the person that everyone prayed for a long time ago. Have I been perfect? No, I'm human. Absolutely not. But I can tell you that I'm on the right trajectory, given the help and support I have today to be where everyone hoped and prayed for a long time ago. And it's not about proving anybody wrong. It's about proving yourself and the man upstairs right. And, I have many flaws. I've not been perfect by any means whatsoever. But I can tell you that it takes a lot of strength to go from a place where you were supported by many to being kind of kicked to the curb. And I'm not a victim. I'm not a woe is me kind of guy. However, I don't care how strong or weak you are, that is a tough transition. And through those transitions, through this time, I feel I have found myself more as a person. I feel stronger in who I am as an individual, and with the help of just this whole process of healing from things like depression. So if you've never gotten any professional help with depression, I encourage you to just take that leap of faith, let go of whatever fears are up in your head, and to tackle it. And you'll be surprised when you're honest with yourself and everything else, and you put the work in. And most of that work is just being straight up honest with yourself and being courageous for yourself. That's where a big part of it is. And to have those memories of where you were before, and to have memories of certain events and experiences that you never want to go through again, those should be a humble reminder, as they are for me, to stay on the right path. Because it's a slippery slope to just pretend like nothing ever happened. So if you're watching this, I encourage you, like I said in the beginning, find the help you need. It doesn't make you a weaker person to admit that you have depression. And eventually, I want to host a podcast in the near future, to where some of the stuff is more shared as far as what I went through, to motivate others, not to put anyone down that was part of my story by any means, to give hope and strength to the masses. So address your mental health, especially if it's depression. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in any form. And I'd love to be an advocate so people don't have to go through what I went through and come out of this victorious. As I'm coming out of this victorious, there's a lot that could have been done earlier to prevent someone from being in the situation I'm in. And that's okay. I know that I'm strong enough to handle these challenges and changes. And like I said, I just want to be a beacon of light for people that have struggled with depression and mental health, to know that you're not a less of a person, less of a man, less of a woman if you go after what's been holding you down for a while. That takes courage, and that takes strength. And even if people walk out in your life, just know that you're the one in the end that's in charge of it. You're holding the pen to the next chapter in your life. Whether people are there to watch or not, this life is still your movie, and you're still holding the pen to the next chapter. And those that kind of walk out early, that's between them and themselves, not you. And it's hard to see people that say they're a ride or die when they're not there in the final rounds of going through the mud, per se. And the ones that are close to me, the ones that have been around me for the last 4 months, some of my best friends from me a long time ago, they're seeing the change. They're seeing who I am today, and they're not running. You know why? Because they see face to face who I'm being made into. And I just want to motivate you guys that if you are going through divorce or going through things where people do leave you high and dry, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what other people are saying about you behind your back. Stay strong for you, because if you don't take care of you first and you're worrying about what other people think, you're going to get off the tracks big time. So, yeah, we are at about 9 minutes here of me rambling on and on. But again, like I said, I wanted this to be motivating and inspiring for people to address their depression if they have never done that before. So, love you guys. Stay strong. I don't know what you all are going through, but I just wanted to be here to be a beacon of light in a dark room. And I encourage you all that are struggling with some of these things to do the same. Okay? Talk to you soon.